We're here with Manchester Rangers head coach Steve Molloy. It was a good win last week, Steve. How do you think it went?
Yeah, I mean, we always celebrate a win. It's quite important that we maintain this continuity. You know, we're on, I think, the club's longest winning streak now. Very, very warm day. The guys sort of got detracted a little bit from how we wanted to play, but I think we stuck to it. The conditions sort of didn't really sort of suit us as far as, you know, we're quite a quick team, we like to swing the ball about a little bit, but I think with the heat it just sapped a lot of energy. But, you know, to go away and win, you know, it doesn't have to be absolutely fantastic and perfect. It's just important that we still maintain that winning run and we're where we need to be as far as the rest of the season.
It's been a much more settled side over the last few weeks than it was at the start of the season. Do you think that's helped with the performances and the form going forwards?
I think it has. The players are starting to be aware of each other's strengths and ultimately, you know, help each other out. You know, there has been a little bit of continuity in the side, and I think that's reflected in, like I said, the winning run that we're on. It's quite important that, you know, you get that spine and you get a nucleus of players that can take you around the pitch, that know what they're doing. But we have got some quality players that we need to sort of try and filter in, and it's important to have them 4 or 5 players who are really structured and disciplined, and then we can sort of start to have a look and introduce other players into the side. We've got a lot of young players as well that's relatively not a lot of rugby league experience, you know, with maybe only a handful of games playing for schools. So it's important that, you know, that spine, that they're effectively the players on the pitch that make sure that what we're trying to put in place, the structures from the coaching staff, that they're implemented on the field.
So you mentioned some of them youngsters there. They played in the second team this week, who also had a very good win. Do you think they're starting to give you a bit of a selection headache? Are they nipping at the heels of the older players and perhaps looking to get a spot in the future?
It's fantastic to have that opportunity. You know, what they bring a lot of exuberance, a lot of speed, a lot of energy, a lot of fun to the sessions, and, you know, it does get quite competitive. You know, they are sort of maturing into you know, you look at somebody like Jabril, who's, although still relatively young at 18, you know, he's probably one of our hardened campaigners, been here for as long as anybody, and, you know, those are, I think, young players. I think they can see that at the club now. We are prepared to invest in, and we are prepared to give them an opportunity to play, which is quite important. You know, we don't use them as cannon fodder, or we don't let them train and then don't utilise them. We try and embed them into what we're trying to achieve at Manchester. They're the future of the club. You know, we want more Manchester players. There's a lot of talent around here. There's a lot of gifted athletes, and, you know, whether they can transition into rugby league, which, you know, remains to be seen. But I'm sure that some of the signs and some of the qualities and skills and the attributes that they bring to the club, you know, it's looking really, really healthy. And, you know, that's what we want: competition for places. We want sides playing at every age group wherever possible.
So, going back to the first team game, it was a very good result, but do you think you're still striving for that perfect performance? Is there anything that you picked from the game that could potentially be improved in training and going forward?
Yeah, I mean, we've worked on our tempo. We have got some really quality players on the fringes, and I just didn't think we utilised that enough. I don't think we got the ball away from the middle quick enough, exploited them on the fringes. I think that's key. I think when it comes to some of the games later in the year, some of the real crucial games that we're going to play and that are ahead of us, we need to be a little bit smarter. We spoke about playing smart, about utilising our heads, as well as, you know, some of the brawn that we've got within the side, and I think that's key. You know, smart teams, you know, will always be, you know, they might be more athletic than them, but if you're a little bit smarter and you can play to your strengths, then, you know, it's always going to stand you in good stead. And I think, because of the nature of the club, you know, we're still sort of finding our feet. We're only 2.5, 3 years down the line. Some of the players haven't got as much experience as you'd like, but we have got key players in key positions that hopefully we can, you know, will steer the rest of the group through there. But it's certainly something we can work on, and we're trying to do that. We're trying to incorporate that within our training session, getting everybody to think about the consequences, what their role is within the game, and how they can add value and make sure that they're 100% clear of their job and their purpose on their field when they're in that position.
So going ahead to Saturday's game against Runcorn, last time out it was a bit of a seesaw game, sort of 10 minutes after half time it looked like the game could have gone either way really. What do you think is important for the team this week in picking up that next win?
I think it's just important that we start to take the practices that we've done and in the training sessions, some of the things that we've worked on as far as structures, some of the things, the areas of improvement that we've worked on for the following week, we start to implement that. I think we've got the players within the squad to cause virtually every side in this division problems. And I think it's again, you know, as I've referred to before, it's about being smart. It's about game management. It's about playing to our strengths. It's not getting embroiled in dogfights when we don't need to. Not getting frustrated because things are not going our way. Not getting frustrated because of refereeing decisions or some, you know, somebody who wants to, you know, maybe be a little bit aggressive and getting drawn into that, which we have been found guilty of doing on the occasion. Some you know, some aspects of our game, you know, we just need to tighten up on and play smart and make sure that, you know, this winning run that we're on, we maintain it. We've got away game and we've got 3 or 4 home games in a row, and it's quite important that, you know, we go into them home games with real momentum and, you know, knowing full well that we've gone on our travels, we've got our points, we've done our job, and we've been as professional as we possibly can be.